You are now listening to the Melanated Movement podcast with Tess and Anne. We invite you to take a deep breath, open your mind, and prepare to go on this wild ride. Episode loading in 5, 4, 3, 2.
We're vibing like 5 and 4 and 3.
Period. I don't care what nobody says. That theme song go hard.
It does. It does. I love it.
I love
don't care whoever calls it corny. We love it.
Not you calling out my
Hey!
person. We got beef?
No, we don't. It's cool. It's cool. I like her.
I like her too.
Yeah, you can keep her.
Thanks. Welcome to another episode of the Melanated Movement podcast with Tess and Anne. This is your girl Anne.
Hey, Anne.
Hey, I got Tess on the other side of the mother loving mic. Hey, Tess.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you
You look
too.
great.
Grateful.
Yeah.
It's the lighting, girl.
Mm.
If you can see the stress pimples going on, I was like, let me just put a little powder on, just because for something to be on the internet forever. And then the last video we took, I looked so good on my side, and when we download the video from your side,
I looked rough.
Struggle. No, I look rough, girl. My skin looked dry.
I promise you, I didn't notice. So I would have said something. I would have been like, and maybe you might want to grease up a little bit.
Put a little something.
Put a little something. I don't know what it is, but a little something, you know?
A little something. A little
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
Oh my goodness. So this 2024 has been really like running. Why are you running?
Why are you
bruh?
running? Why are you running?
Because it's about to be April.
Oh my God, that's
I
right.
feel like we
Second
blinked. And man, I'm actually quite grateful that it's almost April because I'm ready for a lot of things in my life to come to a close. However, come. I just feel like since the beginning of the year, since Cat Williams went on to Club Shay Shay, he's been pretty.
God. Okay. Before we go into all of that, I just want to say, like, I don't know how much you believe in like astrology and like club, like, so people were talking a lot about the age of Aquarius and how the age of Aquarius was going to be a lot about like AI just running amok in like all the spaces and infiltrating all of that stuff, right? But also a lot of truths being revealed and coming up to the surface and people getting caught up in their actions that they've gotten away with for years. And when I tell you, this first quarter has been lit already with like revelations and Cat Williams, I feel like, you know, just kind of like set the stage and then like he walked so that all this other stuff could just like run and fly. So anyway, I just wanted to like, how do you feel? Because I keep thinking back to like Age of Aquarius. I'm like, oh my God, is that you? You know, because some
you
stuff
coming
is
over the Himalayas.
Wait, let me see you play.
Where you at, player?
So how do you feel? Like, do you agree that you feel like that's probably like what's happening too? Like, it's like just the season for the reason.
Just the season for some bullshit.
For real.
So I get, would Cat Williams be considered a modern day prophet?
I mean,
A prophet.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that
either.
thought at all. I mean, you might be onto something because he said reveal all. He's like ocean spread like it's just, like everything's just like yeah. Anyway, you were saying
Really quick on the ADHD, like imagine there's a meme. I would love for someone to create this if someone's in production. It's like there's a meme and it's like Cat Williams looking like Moses, right? With his robe, with his staff, and he's standing in front of the ocean. The ocean is splitting, and on the other side of the ocean is Hollywood. That would be dope. That would be a dope meme.
oh my God. That's a visual for real. You're so creative. I would love to see that. Somebody make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be a good meme for the first,
Yeah.
like when it says Q1 of 2024. Cat Williams. He said, "Epi, that's it," and it happened.
That's it.
But
He
no,
was not messing around, let me tell you.
he wasn't. He set the
So
stage.
tell me about what's been going on, because
Girl,
you plugged in.
well, I try for the few hours I have to myself a day. There's been a lot of things just going on. I know last we spoke, we were talking about like Kate Middleton. We talked about everything that's going on in the environment and things of that nature. But for this episode, we have to dedicate more time. I mean, we got to talk about old boy with Truth Social with
Mm.
his with
Mhm.
his bullshit, and then I do want to
Mhm.
talk about the Diddy raid, everything that's going on with him, and hopefully the Illuminati don't cut me off because
Please
we need to
don't.
talk about it, right? It seemed like he got kicked out the circle.
Oh my god. Is that what it is?
I mean, I don't know, because it did, imagine
But that
someone
makes
just
sense though.
running.
Yeah.
Imagine all the things that he's been alleged, right? All the way back from the whole Tupac Biggie situation, how he set up like the pew pew with Biggie and Tupac, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
imagine since that era to 2024, the empire that he's built, right? And the
Mhm.
reign, so like, and then the connection that he has that quote unquote like has been giving him like anyway, he's attached to power that's been giving him like, attachments to certain things, making all the monies and all that stuff. So I just feel like either something happened on that sector, on that side, where they're like, okay, we can't rein you in anymore, you've been like cut off, or the wrong thing happened to the right person. You feel
Mm.
me?
Mhm.
And they're like, all right then. Oh, okay then. I just feel
So
tough.
tell me about this raid. So what happened?
So Diddy's how he has two houses. Well, he has more than that, but his house in LA and his house in Miami both got raided by Homeland Security. And one thing about Homeland Security that we've learned is that like obviously they take too long to research things because when it comes to things that matter like predatory things, they'll wait a whole decade to arrest people. They'll know certain things is happening and never like go on with it. However, comma for your house to be rated to that capacity to where like they pulled out his sons and had them arrested and they were sitting on the side of the lawn. They arrested members of his team for alleged things that were put out in the what was that called? What's something that someone puts together to go up to the courts, the alleged items. Anyway, the alleged items had a few of his people listed on there for different things, and the
Mhm.
people that were listed on there were arrested if they were in Diddy's home, right? Because there's like a suspected like drug mule that was in there, his assistant, blah blah blah, got arrested, taken out, right? And then they provided video from the raid, which is odd to me. Cause like, have they ever provided a video of a raid to that capacity? Like when they put Jeff Epstein's home out, it was it put together. It wasn't it raided. Has there ever been a
I don't
raid
I don't know. I
exposed like
feel I
that?
feel like the answer to that is a yes. There have been situations, like high profile situations, where they have released videos of like them like kind of trying to catch the person, or like I remember I mean that was a long time ago, but OJ Simpson,
Mhm.
when like there was like a lot of that was televised, not just like his trial, but like any like everything that led up to it. Um but I don't know how often they've done it, and I don't think it's a common occurrence. So I do
Has
find it curious that they did
hmm. And you named
release
a
that
black
footage.
person.
Eh, worth looking into. I wish I
Mhm.
had more information on that now that
Same,
we're talking about it, but
same.
it is definitely like a keen observation
Right,
that they would just like, display
right.
like mhm,
For Trump's raid, when they thought that he had, well, for all those like documents he had in his home on the stage in his
mhm,
house,
mhm,
they had showed like the helicopter view of like those agents pulling out those documents from the house,
mhm,
but not view
mhm,
of inside the house. But I understand because he was a president that, of course, that's a bigger safety issue. Not that he's ever, not exposed his life before. However, I could see how they're a little bit more secretive with his raid because of his ranking and the social hierarchy. But
right.
like, okay, so Diddy and then Diddy's thing has just been really, really, really wild. And then the raid and showing each room and things like that, showing his safe, which I thought was wild. Like it's
They
one
showed
thing
his
they
safe?
showed his safe. They showed what he had in his safe, where his safe was. His safe is one of his closets, and then they opened it and they showed everything in his safe. Everything. How
What?
why would someone do that? I just don't feel like that's okay. Like unless like there's paperwork in there or there's something that is saying like drug trafficking, like something related to what
Right.
they're doing and they're showing the evidence. But like
I'm so sorry. I'm laughing because the way you just said it, I just pictured opening the safe and it's like this single piece of paper that is listed on there, and it's just his confession, like I am a human like, or some like trafficker, or I am. Imagine just having safe, or just like the safe is like the word inside, so it's like that's my safe word.
that's my secret.
Oh my god, I'm
Another meme.
sorry.
Another
Another me.
meme. Yeah, for real. But no, like they showed like where his safe was. Like they like it's like a zoom out and they show
Mhm.
his entire closet, then you can see where his safe is located. And they
Mhm.
did it, and then there on another scene it was like just them showing like the safe and everything that's in the safe.
That
So
is wild.
so these people now know where he lives, what the insides of his house look like, and what's inside his safe. So it
You can draw an entire blueprint of like of the two if you
the
plan
whole
on,
thing.
doing a heist or something. But there's
Man.
probably nothing of value there still, right? They probably still are. I mean, I don't know. What is he?
What do you mean? Like
Where is he? Is he like where is he like because I know okay, so the last thing I learned, and I haven't gotten any follow-ups from that, is that he wasn't at any of his homes,
oh, he was at the
and
airport.
they had tracked his plane, and his plane was en route to, was it Antigua?
Antigua.
It was Antigua, and they don't have any extradition laws there,
Mhm.
right? But then was he in the plane? Like,
Mm-mm.
is he still in the US?
Yeah, he
Okay,
is.
so he's not
Well,
arrested.
so from the 25th of March when the raid happened, he was
Mhm.
at Opelika Airport in South Florida. When they said Opelika, I said, that's down the street, Opelika. So
Hop and skip away.
I'm about to go see Diddy.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, if I can, no, I don't want no involvement.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no.
no contest. No, but so okay. So his daughters, he has twin daughters who are in school, are school age, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a raid coming." Someone had to have tipped him off for him to be in the airport. Well, I mean, whatever. He was going on vacation to Antigua with his two daughters, right? And Homeland Security was like, stop it, stop. Where are you going?
Why are you running?
Why are you running? I know. So they stopped him or whatever. But the plane, I don't know if his daughters were on the plane or if anybody else was on the plane. Cause like the video that they showed on the news was him speaking with Homeland Security and his daughter speaking to security. Or yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but the thing is, he stayed, is what I know. I don't know about his family, but the plane left. The plane left Opelika and still
Was it a
went
distraction? A
to
diversion.
Antigua. It could be. It could be a diversion. He has a whole nother plane somewhere else that's already been delivered. Delivered.
Delivered.
Crazy. It's
Dang.
wild.
It's crazy,
It
girl.
is.
It's
It's,
crazy.
it's crazy. Anyway, the news is saying that he's like the black Jeffrey Epstein. Imagine.
I mean, he had incredible amount of power. Another thing that I learned recently, like thank you TikTok, was that a while ago back in the night like 1999 or something like that, J-Lo had known some stuff because
Oh
she
my
was part of the
god.
inner circle, and so he paid her off. Like he paid her for her silence. And so they had like an entire like court thing or whatever, and she's like, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't know nothing. I ain't heard
Nothing.
nothing.
Period.
And
Meanwhile,
that was it.
according to the woman that he pew-pewed in the club in the 90s, right? So that's how this whole JLo thing is involved. So in the
Yeah.
90s, P. Diddy was in the club, doing his thing, shoulder rocking or whatever. And that's when he was dating JLo.
Mhm.
And in the club or whatever was going on, there was a young lady by his section, and he was getting all rattled or whatever. Supposedly and allegedly, JLo was the one who gave him the pew pew. And then when he, right, like supposedly, allegedly, and then the woman who got Poon Poon in the face literally saw Diddy do it. So as she was being
Oh
pulled
my
out of,
god.
yes. So allegedly, he paid off like the club and the bouncers or whatever to stay quiet and not say that he did it. And when they went to, so when this woman got pulled out, in the hospital, she's like, "Diddy pew pewed me, Diddy pew pewed me," like, in sorry, you can't say these
Uh-huh.
words.
I got you. I
So
got you. I got you.
so in the hospital, she's saying that whatever, and
Mhm.
then so it's recorded. She's saying it right. Went to court,
Okay.
and she was like, "This man pew pewed me," like pointed him out, whatever. But what it was, the one of the confessions that Diddy did with one of his producers was like, "I get away with pew pewing people all the time. That club that went to in the '90s, I'll pew pew
That
that
ain't
girl."
nothing. Yeah.
Period. And then he had one of his friends go down for him, a dude named Shine, took the rap for him and went to jail for him for pew-pewing someone. So imagine. So
I hope somebody would
imagine. So now
ask me
she
to take a blame for something like that and
he
go to
he did
jail for
nothing,
them.
period. But imagine he probably got him set up somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you take the rap from me, I'm gonna
Your
make
family's set for
sure,
life.
yeah, like you're gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? You might be in here, but your books gonna be covered. You're gonna be living lavish in the jailhouse. Mhm. You and the sheriff gonna be real acquainted. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. Wild.
Mhm. And
It's
then
been
what
just
happened?
we saw.
I was like, you said, like it's juicy, and I know I shouldn't be enjoying it so much, but you tell me, I'm like, tell
Mhm.
me more, tell
I
me more.
mean, I know the woman that got PPN wants to reopen the case
Mhm.
so that Diddy is tried for it versus Shine. However, the whole like double jeopardy thing, I don't know if that would reopen, but I mean it's something that is in his case file that it's added to Diddy's like list of allegations and as evidence. So I'm not sure what's gonna go on from there, but there's a lot going on. And one thing just to keep in mind, like Homeland Security don't go to your crib for no reason. It's not like a knock, 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 oh, we heard. Nah, babes. There's like
The amount of time it takes to build evidence
Mhm,
and enough reason to kind of like obtain a warrant,
mhm,
right? That is worthy to for an an investigation worthy of a warrant is pretty it's pretty rigorous. Like, it takes a lot. Like, I remember back to the drug infested Miami days,
mhm,
how long it took for them to build this case against this cocaine drug lord back in
mhm.
you remember, like, back
Oh,
in it was, like, 1970s, like,
Griselda?
when
No.
the yeah, when, like,
70s?
when the coke was, like I forgot his name, but, like, he had an entire, like, empire that was, like,
Mhm,
securely built, and it took years
mhm,
before they could bring him down, and I mean,
mhm.
the documentary is actually, I think, still on Netflix, and when I was like, "Dang, it takes a long time," and they can't just go on a hunch, like, they
Mhm.
need to have it because, like, if something happens, imagine suing Homeland Security.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot, but anyway, yeah, and then I heard that Suge Knight, the guy that's, like, supposedly murked,
Mhm, mhm.
Tupac, apparently from the jailhouse told him that, "Yo, you better watch out, you're gonna get raided." But how did he know that?
Suge Knight is connected. Suge
That's
imagine
wild.
and no, he went the thing that's really ridiculous too, Suge Knight had the audacity to go on an interview, like, while he's in jail to stand up for Diddy.
Oh
Out of
my
all the people to stand up for me, please don't let it be Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not helping me, bro. Like, you're not. Like, shut up. Ain't nobody ask you to do nothing. Shut up your
it's like
mouth.
it's like the sign is like, "No, like, cut
Mm-mm.
it out, cut it out,
Cut.
cut it out, I told you to cut it out."
Period. Right. You play it. Nobody but the thing that was really interesting, so I was watching Jessie Woo, right?
Uh-huh.
Jessie Woo.
Shout out
Uh,
to Jessie Woo.
shout out to Jessie Woo. We love a
Haitian
Haitian
queen.
queen.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Thriving. She was giving the whole rundown. She really went into depth. I kudos to her. She has a graduate degree. I think she has a background in law, which is actually quite amazing. She speaks like 4
Mhm.
languages. Girl, yes. We love an educated Haitian queen. Anywho, she went into a whole different a whole list of things that's going on, and I was just so blown away. So Suge Knight, dumbass, he's been in him and Diddy are in cahoots, obviously, because
Right?
like because what was it? Was it wasn't murder? What was Suge Knight's record label? Was it Murder? No, Murder Inc. is Ja Rule. What is
It's, it was something record. That's where what's his face was,
um
right?
yeah, that's where
Yeah,
Tupac was.
yeah,
Anyway,
I forgot.
Yeah, so he was, of course, his stuff, he's gonna be in jail forever because all of his compounded evidence
Forever.
forever. And so because he's known, imagine the things that he's gone through and gone away with over the years. He has people on the inside and outside that's telling him what's going on still, of course. So I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't be the one to call Diddy to say something is going on. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm,
would like
mhm.
I would create code words or I would have somebody else that's completely unrelated. Like, oh, you don't know who I am? Cool, great. Call this number. Call this number.
But do you think that he would have, like, trusted that information from
I
s
think
coming from
so.
somebody else? I mean,
Imagine you get a call from the
yes.
same jail cell that like someone you worked with is coming from, and they say something very specific.
I feel
Like,
like you would have known. Like, I feel like somebody with as much influence, I feel like unless you have this incredible amount of just pure arrogance and narcissistic tendencies about you, you should know that at some point your misdeeds will no longer go unpunished. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you should kind of prepare yourself for an inevitability of your life just coming crashing down around you. Unless again you feel like you're invincible, which maybe that's what
either.
the diamond triangle people, you know, all seeing eye, like, or like maybe that's what they're about. Like maybe it's
Mhm.
about, the fact that they create so much of like cushioning around themselves that they believe to the point like they are in fact invincible. But I mean, I was like reading some other things where I read that even like people like Jay-Z, like they're coming for them too, like, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
It is gonna be interesting. I feel like when with power, people do get that feeling of being like invincible. I
Hmm.
feel like people need to be reminded though, like even if you are this amazing person, mogul, whatever, there's less chances you'll be caught if you're a white guy. But if you're a black guy, there's just a higher chances you might just
Your
get caught up.
likelihood drastically increases. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I just feel
that's
like that.
true.
That's
That's
something
true.
to be talked
Facts.
about. So that's continuing, and we're gonna just see how that
More to
goes. There's
come. More to come.
Oh my god, last thing, last thing, last thing, last thing, last thing,
Tell me
because
more.
this oh my god, the evidence that was submitted into the court for this man for Diddy's arrest, wild. Supposedly, allegedly, girl, there was
Mhm.
cameras inside the bedrooms in his mansion where he was having these parties, right? And supposedly, allegedly, and this was on I found this on TikTok, by the way.
Mhm.
So that like you know how he was having like these fun parties, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Free parties, and
Mhm.
people were able to, do their thing or whatever. And supposedly, the videos, if they're doing something compromising, like so, if the person that's in there is married and they're doing something with someone else, if they're doing things that like either like gay or different or whatever it is. That Diddy would now have that evidence, and that evidence would be leveraged against them when it came to what music was coming out, what videos were coming out, what money was going to projects and things like that. Like supposedly he was like really blackmailing people to make sure that he stayed on that Billboard list, right? With his company and who he's involved with, his name wouldn't be necessarily directly on that list of Billboard. But if you go onto Billboard and you see how many times not Billboard, Universal is listed on Billboard, you'll see that they occupy 1/3 of the Billboard charts, right? And then the owner of Universal is someone who's listed on Diddy's allegations of who was, supplying him with certain things, control, money, power, or whatever, was through this owner of Universal. And
Mhm.
Diddy is part of Universal, so if Universal makes money, Diddy makes money, and Diddy
Mhm.
has supposedly these alleged like videos, so that's also
Mhm.
something that's listed on his documentation.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
The worst is getting worser.
Yes. Oh, one more thing, Greg.
Please
I,
do it, do it. Tell me.
we
Tell
got
us.
exactly. I was saying, I hope the listeners is listening because we out here, right? So on
You
the
came
allegation.
prepared and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much.
On the allegations, the producer that actually put these allegations together, he was asked by Diddy to record everything. Now we're in this is the shit that gets you fucked up. This age of Aquarius, all this digital shit. Diddy was like,
Mhm.
record everything. we're gonna do a documentary, record everything. So imagine, and then imagine you're recording everything and someone is doing illegal shit in front of you and it's all recorded. So the things that this producer was recording in, wherever they were with Diddy, they have hundreds of hours of evidence
of
because the
footage
producer still
readily
has
available.
the footage.
That is wild.
Mhm.
I
The
think do you think it's going to be like a demonstration of loyalty as well? Like who keeps him like, who still has his back and versus who doesn't? Or do you think like in that like regardless if you know you are part of this thing that they're going to find they're going to find your footage or evidence or whatever your records regardless?
I don't think anyone's gonna say anything because imagine this has been going on since last year, publicly
Mhm.
last year. So,
Mhm.
like, imagine the only person since last year when all this thing became public, the only person to stand up for P. Diddy was Suge Knight. But P. Diddy is involved with many, many, many people, and nobody has gone on social media, has made a public statement, has done anything to say, nah, P.
Mhm.
Diddy's he's a stand-up guy. That's all I'm saying. That's all
You're
I'm
just
saying.
gonna leave it right there. You're just gonna like let that thought marinate.
Mhm.
But anyway, if you have any more information, any like little tidbits that you want to like, drop them in the chat or drop them in the comment section as we're reading
Period. Drop a
this.
gem.
Send us direct message like we're plugged in. We want to know.
Period. Run me that link because I will watch it. Mhm. Mhm. This is gonna be a huge because these people do see themselves as like godlike, right? This is gonna
Mhm.
be like a public crucifixion type vibe. And I feel like
Yeah.
Diddy is going to because this is gonna be a publicized case, I think he's going to put himself as that person. Like I'm being made an example of, I'm being crucified. And so I just see that as the next
Just roll
thing.
my eyes so heavily right now. It's like,
Mhm.
of course you're going to be the the lamb set to for sacrificial whatever. It
Mhm.
doesn't make I mean, it's not true, but, like, I understand what you're saying because it's
Mhm.
like, "Oh my god, woe is me," type thing.
Mhm.
It's very annoying, and, because I think in the midst of all of this, what really is messing me up is like, especially for millennials, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like so much of our childhood is being like
Mhm.
ruined and deconstructed because like those are people we looked up to. Those are people with like whose music we used to vibe to. Like these are people like that we like in the public like gave opportunities to other folks, like help other musicians and other artists like get like come into the spotlight and get discovered and all of that stuff like some of the connections and the like what I mean like, it's such a deeply woven part of our upbringing
Mhm.
and seeing all of that just being like like all of the wolf in sheep's clothing type of thing like all of that coming to light. I mean, first of all, like it's very interesting to see just like the lengths to which somebody would go to just do things that are just absolutely atrocious. But
Yes.
more so, it's like what are the lengths that you're going to go through to show this facade and this mask of innocence or benevolence that you actually don't even give two craps about, and how much you just fool people into thinking like here's who you are and then it's just fake as hell and it really bothers me because I no longer feel right vibing to like some songs and some music or some things that we just grew up just really listening to and I don't know, it's just a lot. It's really a lot because music certainly helped me with English, a bit with English language, and
Yes.
I would write down those lyrics very, like, feverishly, and, like, learn them and read them and listen to them, and it's just so sad. It's really
It
sad.
is.
So, if you're grieving your childhood or you're grieving some of your upbringing because of what's happening with these artists, just know, like, I'm right there with you because it's a
Right.
tough one. It's a
It
tough
is. I do
yeah.
feel like recently we have been grieving our childhood. Everything is being exposed. I feel
Mhm.
like specifically for Diddy, I felt like he was someone to pay attention to way before. I felt like something that showed his true colors was when he was doing Making the Band. Remember he had like a group, Danity Kane,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
how he
mhm. You
Yes.
love Danny
I
Kane.
loved Anthony Kane, and the way
Mhm.
he treated them and the things that they had to do, it didn't make sense, and then when everything, like, fell apart, like, they didn't get paid, like, the producers of, what was going on didn't get paid. A lot of this
Mhm.
stuff is coming up because he just wasn't paying people, you know what I'm saying? He wants to do all this ridiculousness and then not pay you is wild. But, like, I from watching that show, I was like, "There's just Diddy is just not that guy." Like, it gave
Mhm.
me, like, crazy boss vibes from even when I was younger, and I feel like now
Mhm.
as things are coming out, nobody was surprised when Cassie had her whole case come out. When Cassie's allegations come out, Cassie seemed like she was someone that was kept on a short leash every time we saw her or whatever. So, like, when
Mhm.
her allegations came out, nobody was surprised. Nobody said, "No, Diddy's not that guy," da, 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 whatever. Nobody
Mhm.
stood up for him. So, like, all these things happening, it's not surprising for me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of ruining our childhood,
That was a perfect segue, uh-huh. Keep digging, keep digging.
the
What's up?
whole millennials, not only is the millennials' future out of whack, but our past was shit too. Life is good, like Future says.